Pimple and acne are the same thing. Everybody can have acne at some point of time.
Your skin is not a separate entity. Your skin is also connected to your mind and your body. It's an extension of you.
पिंपल को चेहरे के ऊपर रहने दो, दिल पे मत लो. The most specific skin friendly correct creams to be used on the skin, so you don't have to use one Colgate for everything.
So I never thought that genetics also plays such a big role. When is the right time to approach a doctor like you?
People might have great skin on the face, but their back and their shoulders are just covered with pimples.
Please tell me, for everyone, what can a normal person do to de-stress? Please don't tell me meditation. I cannot myself do meditation.
आज के एपिसोड में हम बात करने वाले हैं पिंपल्स और एक्ने के बारे में, जिसने कभी ना कभी हम सबको कहीं ना कहीं इरिटेट जरूर किया है. क्या आप जानते हो कि आपको पिंपल्स और एक्ने क्यों होते हैं, कैसे हम इनको अवॉइड कर सकते हैं, और अगर हो भी गए तो इनका बेस्ट इलाज क्या है? और यही बताने आज हमारे साथ हैं India's leading dermatologist with more than 20 years of experience in aesthetic and clinical dermatology, none other than Dr. Rashmi Shetty. So Dr. Shetty a global speaker हैं, author हैं, educator हैं, and she is known for her scientific and natural approach towards facial aesthetics. She is also the founder of Soul Skin and Ra Supplements. So आइए जानते हैं डॉक्टर शेट्टी से कैसे हम पिंपल्स और एक्ने से छुटकारा पा सकते हैं. So very warm welcome to you, Dr. Shetty, and thank you for doing this podcast with us.
Not at all. Anything for you. I've seen your content and I've known you for a while, and I know how warm and healing and lovely that you are. So for me, I just said no matter how tired I am, if she says, I say yes.
Thank you so much. और ये बहुत मीनिंग रखता है मेरे लिए, और मैं आपको कम से कम 10-12 साल से तो जानती हूँ.
ज़्यादा
15 साल से जानती. 15
from that tiny clinic of mine, remember?
I know, long time.
Yeah.
And she's one of the loveliest person I have ever met. She's really warm and nice, और आप अभी जानोगे कि how amazing and warm she is. So let's dive right into it, Doc. कि सबसे बड़ा जो issue होता है ना, which I feel even in my clients when I'm doing their therapy sessions, the big issue they are facing, even adults are facing, is acne.
Yeah.
Pimples and acne. और मेरा एक personal question भी है कि क्या pimples और acne same होते हैं?
Same.
अच्छा, there's no difference.
I know. I have people coming on the consultation. I'd say, okay, so when did you start? Since when are you having your acne? No, doctor, I have pimple. And I'm thinking, yeah. Then again, somewhere I'll ask them, so did your parents have acne? No, I have pimple. I'm like, okay, got it. But pimple and acne are the same thing. Acne is a more technical term. Acne vulgaris is what we actually call as the textbook term for common pimple.
बहुत भारी भरकम word है ये.
Yeah, while the colloquial term is pimple, zit, all of that. So that's a very local term that people use in conversation. But a textbook and a technical biological or medical dermatological name to it is acne vulgaris.
Acne vulgaris.
One of the most common acne is acne vulgaris.
और ये acne vulgaris होता क्यों है?
आपके sweat oil glands है तो वो acne होगा ही. किसको oil glands है उसको acne होगा ही.
That's everybody.
That's exactly I'm saying. Everybody can have acne at some point of time. I'm almost 50 now, and then I have never had acne all my life, and now I'm getting 1 or 2. So it's a good sign that my oil glands are still active. Okay. So I am still getting acne. Weather is changing. It's humid in Bombay. Yes. So therefore there's acne. And for a few days I've been shooting for this or the other. So there's harsh lights, there's makeup on my face. Maybe it's that. So something can always trigger. Why does one get acne is because one has an oil gland, and therefore you will get acne if that oil gland is overactive, is inflamed, infected, obstructed. Any of these can lead to acne. Now, why can all this happen? Due to different reasons. What stimulates it, irritates it, influences it.
So, according to you, 5 main reasons जिसके according acne हो सकता है, जिनके कारण से acne हो सकता है.
So, if I say 5 main reasons, one is stress. Most important reason is stress. The hormones completely go for a toss. It influences your oil glands, and therefore you may end up getting that. 2, simply lack of sleep. can add to the stress and disturb your circadian rhythm, which can also lead to differences in your hormones.
Amazing.
3, simply hormones. It could be PCOS, it could be simply a teenage boy with his excess testosterone, it could be androgen excess. Any of these thyroid abnormalities, any of these hormones can lead to acne as well. 4, and the most important thing which we don't have much control on is genetics, which is hereditary. So if your mom, your dad, your siblings have had acne, more chances that you will have acne. 5 is generally 2 things: what you put into your mouth and what you put on the skin. Any of them can cause acne as well. So, yeah, 5 in no particular order.
Amazing. So I never thought कि genetics also plays such a big role.
Huge role.
So when we talk about genetics, so sometimes we also consider कि unless it is triggered by the same environment, the genes will not become active. ऐसा भी होता है क्या?
That we call it as epigenetics.
Epigenetics, yes.
So, you may have a gene that you're carrying from your dad or your mom, or maternal side, could be an uncle, paternal aunt, whoever. So, if you're carrying that gene, depending on your lifestyle, your environment, your whatever, everything that you're putting in, you're influencing that gene. So, everything that influences the gene expression is called as epigenetics. And that is what can determine how much your gene will express or not express, or how it will express.
Somebody has the genes for it, so इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो definitely उनको acne होगा ही होगा. It still requires a trigger of the environment. Is that correct?
That's correct in one way, but mostly अभी किसी को gene है, you've seen acne, then we relate it to genetics quite a bit. हो सकता है. Trigger हुआ तो बहुत ज़्यादा हो सकता है, trigger नहीं हुआ तो शायद कम में आके चला जाएगा. But if you do have genes, I've mostly seen people get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you talk about lifestyle, what do you consider lifestyle triggers?
Everything. Right from how you sleep, how you talk to your parents. No, kidding.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, that causes stress, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially genetic के parents को भी हो रहा है.
Stress तो मम्मी पापा को होता है ना, हम लोग को
आपको
थोड़ी
नहीं
होता
होता
है.
है ऐसा. Yeah. So your sleep, to how you wash your face in the morning, what's your skincare that you put in the morning, whether you're eating your breakfast, what are you eating in your breakfast, are you sleeping on time and waking up on time, not just 6 hours is enough. What time do you go to bed, what time do you wake up, do you put in some amount of exercise, are you doing some very high protein diet, are you doing a no carb diet? All of this can be triggers. And when I say lifestyle, all of this including your hygiene. Your scalp being clean, there should be no sticky scalp, make sure you wash your hair regularly, skin has to be clean, the things that you wipe your skin has to be clean as well, don't keep touching your face. All of this is lifestyle. Anything in your life is lifestyle.
So I think Vrinda knows this about me. When you talk about hygiene and when you talk about skincare, I think I've gone through the most odd phases in my life.
Okay.
So when I started CrossFit, there was the whole caveman and the paleo and the zone and all that kind of diet. Exercising was there.
Yes.
Diet was clean. At that time, I
Yes.
used to smoke. I used to drink. So somewhere the lifestyle was not as great. Sleep. I used to get my sleep because partying used to be pretty much on the weekends. But then they probably, and my skin was touchwood.
Flawless.
It was great. I used to tell everyone it was beetroot juice, which I think now
Because
suddenly,
he has a naturally pink color.
so there must be something that is
What's your ethnicity?
Gujarati
Really?
Sindhi.
Gujarati Sindhi.
Oh.
So now
okay.
you all know.
Yeah, now you all know. Initially, we thought you were some Tirang after that movie.
I know.
Yeah. So, anyway, one is ethnicity.
But my dad is from Africa.
But Gujarati.
So he's
from है.
born and brought up in Africa with wild animals and
Yeah,
lived a
wow.
very similar kind of lifestyle. But anyways,
No, so ethnicity matters a lot, firstly, with how your skin is. Then it's your family. Hereditary matters a lot. Sometimes you see people, like you said, with worst of situations, but you will see, sometimes you see people who are urchins on the street at the signal when they come, you will see a glowing, that beautiful tan because they are in the sun, but the skin is amazing. So it's not necessary that you do 85 things on the skin, behave like this, behave like that, skin is going to be. Sometimes it is just genes. It is just genetics.
so at this point, should I thank my
Mama and
Mom,
Papa.
Krishna,
I told you right
she'll
in the
be-
beginning. Lifestyle and Mama, be nice to Mama
So
and
well,
Papa.
there you go. Thank you, mom and dad, for the good skin. Mom had come up with the story.
So
Ke you
this
put
lit-
that morning spit, and is it true that because they said the morning spit has, before you drink water, it has certain bacteria, and that is why you don't even eat anything before you brush your teeth, because that bacteria needs to like get out of the system.
So this myth, like you rightly said, is because early morning and your saliva, which is not yet brushed, or you haven't used a mouth gargle, is rich in probiotics and your natural good bacteria and maybe some bacteria, but morely predominantly, let's say, in a clean mouth, non-infected mouth, it is a good bacteria which is there.
Okay.
Now that ending up putting there is what people might have thought, but skin bacteria, the good bacteria on the skin and good bacteria on the gut are two different things. So this and that is not going to work on each other. So that is not going to work
So
at all. So
stop
please,
using
guys,
spit.
yeah, don't get gross. No.
No Colgate on your pimples either.
See, even Colgate comes in because you're thinking you're brushing your teeth with something. There must be an antiseptic, antibiotic in it because it keeps your mouth clean.
Also because
That's
it
only
dries
good for
up.
that. Yeah, it kind of dries up. All
Seriously, we
that. But
grew up with such strange ideas
yeah,
about.
but you don't need them because they're more specific, skin-friendly, correct
Now,
creams
yes.
to be used on the skin. So you don't have to use one Colgate for everything.
100%.
Yeah.
We're not trying to boost sales of Colgate or any toothpaste.
Yeah.
और एक और चीज है डॉक कि जब हमें सपोजिंग एक बम्प आता है एक ब्रेक एक पिंपल निकलता है तो उसको कैसे हैंडल करें एंड व्हेन इज द राइट टाइम टू अप्रोच अ डॉक्टर लाइक यू
So one thing to answer your first question, when is the what do you do about that one zit? If you get a one zit and that's just been a one-off in your whole life and you've never got it before and it's just one-off, all you could end up doing is sometimes just ice it, or sometimes just at home use little chandan. All of us Indians have chandan and haldi at home, so just take one little chandan or sandalwood powder and just put on haldi and just put it on top. It can
That's so
kind
good.
of just
चंदन एंड हल्दी
that's it. Or multani mitti.
Yeah.
Anything that just kind of dries that area out. Simply a calamine lotion can also do at times. So just a little ice to calm that inflammation. Just end up putting in one of these things to just douse that fire of acne there. So that kind of flattens it and it's gone. But if you get more than one, then there may be infection with the inflammation. So you may need an antibiotic cream, which then has to be prescribed by your doctor. If you self-medicate and take antibiotic creams also on yourself, I've seen a lot of people just keep applying on the whole face for a long time. Your skin does get resistant to it, number one. Two, we were talking about the good bacteria on the skin. That gets killed. So your skin barrier is now compromised. So if there is more than one, it's time for you to end up going to a doctor, number one. Two, if this one keeps coming too often, also it's time for you to go to your doctor. So this is when you go to your doctor, and these are little things that you can do at home.
So, two questions. I've noticed that on my skin, when I get pimples or acne, there are two different types. There's one which is here right now, which is a very simple one. It'll probably go by tomorrow, day after, or something. It forms a head very fast. And there's one that comes which is just big
there.
and it hurts.
Yeah.
So, any difference between the two?
There is.
And one more question: where they appear on the face, does that say something about hormones or food or anything else? Does it specify?
Yeah, yeah. So the first question to say, some are painful and some look more like a pus head.
Yeah.
So one is right on the top of your skin. It's kind of very thin skin on top of that gland. Therefore, the pus is seen on top. It will break at any point of time. Once the pus releases, it is gone. But the other fellow, there is a thicker skin on top. We call it more a cystic acne, which is underneath, or a nodular acne, which is underneath. So it can be just one of the acne gland there or multiple of them coming together to form a coat, thick coat, and the pus stays inside. The inflammatory liquids stay inside. So that then needs an antibiotic course to treat it, or a doctor will end up opening that up and treating it, or taking it out into the whole cyst is taken out, depending on
Correct, because
what it
because
is.
those are the ones that usually end up leaving a scar
a
or
nice
a mark.
big scar.
Yeah.
And sometimes keeps getting inflamed, goes down, inflamed, goes down, reinfected in the same spot again
Correct.
and again and again, because
Correct.
it's still sitting there. So that doctor has to do various measures to take that out. That's your question one. Now, the question too that you said on the face, depending on the region where your acne is shown, could that lead to a diagnosis of where it is coming from or what is leading to that acne? Yes. By and large, if the acne is more on the areas where your oil gland are more, like for example, on your cheeks or on your forehead, on your cheeks, for example, could be just a hereditary acne, an acne which is coming up when you're growing up, maybe because your food is wrong, and it may just kind of go when these corrections are made. An acne on the forehead or the hairline usually could be because your scalp is leading to it. Either it is a dirty scalp, an oily scalp, something we call as excessive seborrhea. It could be dandruff-laden scalp, any of that. Simply unclean scalp because somebody told you that if you wash your hair every day, it's going to cause more hair fall, which is not how it is. So that is something that one needs to take care of, the scalp. Now, the third common thing is hormone imbalances, which could be your PCOS, which means polycystic ovarian syndrome in young girls. It could be simply androgen excess in boys where they're growing up, teenage boys, there's a lot of sex hormone anyways there. So it could be that. In men, there could be female hormone excess such as prolactin sometimes, which also leads to acne in these areas and on the neck. So that's usually hormone-driven acne. Acne on your trunk, which is on your chest, on your back, on your shoulders, could all also be either sometimes hereditary. It could be because your scalp is dirty, you have dandruff, you have a fungal folliculitis can happen, which looks like acne, but it is more just the hair follicle inflammation. So all of this could also be led with lifestyle, dirty scalp, as well as hereditary.
Because I've seen people, you mentioned the back and shoulders, and being a fitness coach and being around so many people in the gym and different gyms, this is one thing I've noticed is that people might have great skin on the face, but their back and their shoulders are just covered with pimples. I mean, and it leaves those black marks. I mean, is it the protein? Is it supplements because they're training? Are they training too hard?
So usually in men and women who train, the acne on the back specifically could be triggered by excess protein. Protein sources which are more inflammatory, such as your protein from milk, which is, what is that? What is that?
Whey?
Whey protein. Could be the whey protein, the casein, your animal-based protein. Some people may end up having all of these, including your performance enhancers like your creatine, can also be pro-inflammatory. So that can lead to acne. Simply picking heavy weights is increasing your testosterone and cortisol. Both can be inflammatory hormones and increase your oil production. So that can again be counterproductive in terms of skin. Third could be simply your sweat, your tight garments, which is rubbing against the back at that point of time. So it could be like a frictional acne that can also happen. And they can even break due to friction and the marks might be bad. So these can happen. So any of these can lead to severe acne on the back in young individuals who go to the gym. Two, most of them like to these days wear clothes which are revealing on the back if they're working out, even to look at themselves and see how the muscles are contracting. So you may end up shaving the hair on the back, which then again leads to inflamed hair follicles, which is folliculitis, which can also leave all those black marks, which we call as PIH, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, after the acne or the folliculitis is well gone.
Because I've realized, I mean, I shaved once and I had a very
Bad experience.
very bad experience. And this was like almost 15, 20 years back. But after that, never shave. It's
So
always
if you
been
really
trimmer.
need the hair to be removed there,
Just a normal trimmer.
the best thing to do is hair reduction laser. It's such a beautiful advancement of technology and medicine that one should use it.
But it won't
And
spoil my
today-
tattoos.
No, if you have so many tattoos, it's difficult to use on the back. But the areas where there is no tattoo, because laser does not understand tissues. It doesn't understand skin or hair. It only understands color.
Okay.
So it works on chromophore.
Okay.
So it understands, the hair reduction laser understands color black. So, but now we have much more sophisticated equipments which are painless, which does not consume so much time, saying ting, 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 like larger, spot sizes that are available. So you end up having a much more pain-free or rather zero pain experience quick experience. And these new colors, which are more combination of wavelengths, will also end up treating your fine hair, which the conventional earlier laser found it very difficult to treat.
You mentioned a very important point, protein.
Yeah.
Now, when I speak about protein, from a fitness coach perspective, from a training perspective, from a muscle perspective, we say that protein is the number one priority that you should basically do. So, what you're saying is absolutely right, of course, because one rule does not apply for everyone. So, even when I tell people about protein, I say, yes, do prioritize protein, but how much protein works for you might be different. But from a skin perspective, forget weight training, forget muscle building, that we can speak about later. But because some people might be very sensitive to protein. So knowing that there's, like, say, if a client has come to me and I send them to you and you say, okay, Shivam, you got to be careful with this person can only have so much protein, then as a coach, I have to agree with you and then make a diet based around those recommendations.
Thank you. Guys, this is Shivam. He is, God knows, trained. I don't know whether I'm able to, I should or not reveal names.
Your daughter.
My daughter, yeah. And the biggest of biggest people and the best of best bodies, and he is an authority. And if he is saying it, please understand, because I am tired of telling people and they're saying, but mera trainer to ye bola hai, but my trainer said this. How will I ever get muscle? That is not true. There is no one for all rule. And like he is saying, protein is a priority because your muscle needs, you're in an anabolic state, you want to build. So you need a protein, but protein is also inflammatory on its own. And which type of protein works on whose body is very important. I am so glad it's coming out of his mouth and not my mouth.
But he's always believed that.
No, because
No, but it's become a battle with most gym instructors.
It's
They
not
say,
that
"Nahi, nahi, lekin protein chahiye, protein
one
chahiye."
type fits all does not exist in any scenario.
See,
Every person is unique.
It's very simple. I believe that if we are working together, say the mind, the physique, the skin, if there's doctors or whoever there is, a physio, even on an athlete who's basically in the Olympics, they've got 7-8 departments working together.
And they have to be in tandem.
Yeah.
So if one person says, okay, look, okay, he's done a food test, based on the food test,
Yeah.
this is a protein that is in the red, which means definitely no. This protein is maybe in the yellow, it can be taken, but to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You cannot, because at the end of the day, we are working towards the goal of that one person.
Body. Yeah.
You know, Shivam, the most important part, which I feel, Doc, is clarity.
Yeah.
Have clarity कि आपको चाहिए क्या. Okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. Okay, now, once you have clarity, I want this, 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 this. And we don't make a body and then say, नहीं, मेरे को skin भी चाहिए था. मेरे को hair भी ठीक रखने थे. So once you have clarity, then you can work in a very integrated approach, in a 360-degree approach, क्योंकि ना आपका body आपके mind से अलग है. It's one. Your skin is not a separate entity. Your skin is also connected to your mind and your body. It's an extension of you. So somewhere I feel this integrated approach of a human system is very, very important, that people understand their own layers.
Yeah.
The transitioning of their life. Teenage mein aisa hoga. Okay, I should be equipped. Mentally, emotionally, physically, I should be equipped to handle the changes. I can imagine so many clients must be coming to you, or patients must be coming to you, or bolte होंगे, the trauma they feel if they have severe acne.
Yeah.
उसका mental stress बहुत होता है, especially in the teenage years. True. तो उस psychologically उसको handle करना भी बहुत जरूरी है कि it's not permanent, it will not stay there
It's
forever.
not even a teenager today. Everyone is on Instagram, so everyone needs to look
A certain way.
And one very cool tip. So after, of course, Vrinda came into my life and the whole mind aspect changed and everything, and I started changing my thought process about things. So whenever I get a pimple, I swear, I don't know if there is anybody else on the planet who probably does this. I actually say, I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I said, okay, you've come, you're a guest. Please enjoy yourself, but try not to stay for too long. Don't overdo your stay. Just go when you have to. And I swear
It actually disappears.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're always just abusing it. Yeah, sometimes you have to burst it and apply things, but
I don't think she'll agree with that.
Okay.
No, but I think what you're saying, if I cut it down to practicality, like you rightly said, if you say, okay, I love you, you stay there, you go when you want to, but go a little early and don't damage my skin when you go.
Correct.
If you say that, then you're in your mind, you're believing what you're saying, obviously.
Yes.
So if you're believing in it, then you are thinking that this fellow is going to go. So now you're not going mad at him. So that is why you are actually abusing him less. So he also is not so angry and abused and troubled that he will leave a bigger mark.
Because everything
I
is energy.
love how
no?
you're speaking.
Yeah.
Because it's also an entity.
Yeah.
It's a part of you.
Yeah,
It's skin, your own skin, which
Yeah.
is misbehaving right now.
that's all.
Just be kind
Yeah.
and correct your lifestyle.
Yeah, so
क्योंकि
like
अपने
in
आप को नहीं
another
आया है.
podcast, I was just saying that, you know, it was a Hindi podcast. I was saying, pimple को चेहरे के ऊपर रहने दो, दिल पे मत लो.
अरे,
You
I
know,
like
so
that.
it's there. Let it stay there. Do that and go. Don't take it your mind, your heart, everywhere and make it. It's on the scale. Let it be there. It'll go.
So guys, पिंपल को चेहरे पे रहने दो, दिल पे मत लो.
दिल और दिमाग पे मत लो.
Seriously. और डॉक को फोन करो, वो
Yeah.
आपको हेल्प कर देंगी. Doc, you said a very important word, discipline.
Yeah.
It is so important for every single human being, क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि डिसिप्लिन सिर्फ एक टर्म था जो हम स्कूल में यूज करते थे और स्कूल में हेट
खत्म
करते
हो
थे
गया, हाँ.
और वो खत्म हो गया.
टीचर नहीं है अभी.
हाँ, अभी टीचर नहीं है, लेकिन अभी टीचर हमारे अंदर होना चाहिए ना, कि जो चीज हमारे लिए जरूरी है, चाहे वो फेस वॉश करना है, चाहे वो रेगुलर डॉक्टर विजिट है, चाहे वो क्लीनिंग अप योर लाइफस्टाइल है, जो भी है वो आपको डिसिप्लिन से ही आएगा.
Okay, Vrinda, I'm going to ask you a question here.
Yes.
Okay, I know it's your podcast, but now I'm going to make it mine.
It's our podcast,
Yeah.
please.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
Huh.
I keep telling all my patients, you know, reduce stress, whether it is hair fall, it is skin, it's eczema, it's anything. I keep saying it's all stress, it's all stress. But please tell me, for everyone, what can a normal person do to de-stress? Please don't tell me meditation. I cannot
No.
myself do meditation.
I would not.
I cannot
say that.
get myself to do it. So tell me, what is this few things, like you said, 5 steps. Give me like a 5-step calming down method for everybody, de-stressing method for everybody.
इतनी ब्यूटीफुल चीज है रश्मि जो आपने मुझे क्वेश्चन पूछा.
Hmm.
इट इज वेरी इंटरट्वाइंड विद योर प्रीवियस आंसर.
Hmm.
ओके,
Hmm.
सबसे पहला है
Hmm.
लर्न हाउ टू ब्रीथ राइट. आपको पता है हम सब उल्टा ब्रीदिंग करते हैं.
Hmm.
So I would request everyone, and if you have been watching my podcast, so you know I make people do this. So you leave the backrest,
Hmm.
थोड़ा straight बैठ पे,
Hmm.
and you take a deep breath in. आप भी try कीजिए, take a deep breath in. सांस कहाँ भरी? Chest में.
Hmm.
सांस start कहाँ पे हुई? Diaphragm पे.
Oh,
So when you breathe in,
Hmm.
the abdomen should come out. When you exhale, abdomen goes in.
Hmm.
Inhale, abdomen out. Exhale, abdomen goes in. आप inhale करोगे 3 सेकंड, exhale करोगे 6 सेकंड. You try this for 5 times, your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in.
Fix it. Hmm.
Has to. ये हो गया आपका symptomatic relief.
Ah.
You will get any time, any place. You just leave the backrest. Let your spine be straight. Inhale through the nose. Become a nasal breather. Every single person become a nasal breather. Inhaling हमेशा नाक से ही करें. Mouth breathers का stress level high रहेगा.
Hmm.
So remember to breathe in through the nose.
Why?
You can, this is the organ for breathing.
No. Why is mouth breathing highly stressful?
You're not breathing correctly. You won't breathe correctly. This is an organ designed for you. इसका science भी है, लंबा चौड़ा science है इसका.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of podcasts on becoming nasal breathers. You won't believe athletes are taping them out.
Yeah, I saw yesterday someone,
Yes.
some Instagram.
So
saying take them
we
out.
will should do another podcast for why nasal breathing versus mouth breathing, because simple answer है आप लोगों के लिए कि नाक बनी है सांस लेने के लिए.
Hmm.
So inhaling through the nose, the diaphragm comes out जब breath आपके अंदर जाती है, and when you exhale आप मुंह से कर सकते हैं initially, because when carbon dioxide level is too much, then you won't have a sustained release of carbon dioxide also. Exhale. Immediately your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. 5 breaths, and symptomatically you'll feel better.
Hmm.
And then the story starts, the layers. 3 दिन में काम नहीं बनेगा.
Hmm.
But if I were to say, clean up your lifestyle, सबसे पहले.
Hmm.
क्योंकि जो भी आपने प्रिंसिपल मेरे को स्किन और हेयर के भी बोले, they are connected to your mind only.
Hmm.
Cleaning up your lifestyle, circadian rhythms.
Hmm.
Get some morning sun into your eyes.
Hmm.
He's प्रत्यक्ष देव, अगर हम उसको अपनी स्क्रिप्चर्स के अकॉर्डिंग भी समझते हैं,
Hmm.
बट अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट वी ऑल सोलर पावर्ड.
Hmm.
So जब when we wake up in the morning, आप सूर्य के दर्शन करते हैं, then the whole your sleeping time is also set at that time. And then wind up the day with that. Of course, you eat clean, you exercise regularly, you clean up your mind.
Hmm.
Oh my God, doc. We don't realize, we are somewhere हम aware हैं कि हमने physically क्या खाना है.
खाया.
सब कुछ पता है कि
We don't know.
we don't realize हम कितना consume करते हैं. And we are regurgitating it. Can you imagine? वो दिमाग में हमारे thoughts are like literally like a verbal diarrhea is happening.
Hmm.
One to the other, to the other, to the other, just going on and on. और हम ये realize नहीं करते कि हमारा हर एक thought कहीं ना कहीं हमारी biochemistry change कर रहा है. At least in the moment.
Hmm.
And वो repetitively वैसा होगा तो एक pattern बनेगा. And वो pattern अगर negative बनेगा, then your life will move in that direction. This is the fundamental of manifestation. And I was speaking to Upasana the other day. She's like, Vrinda auntie, you were the first person who told me about manifestation like 14 years ago. I said, yes.
Yeah.
Nobody used to believe me at that point of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But now everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
But वो इतना simplistic नहीं है, doc. It is layers and layers of your mind. आपको observe करना पड़ेगा. Symptomatic तो tool मैंने दे दिया आपको. Clean up your breath. Learn how to breathe right. I'm not just saying normal breathing. इसमें तो बहुत breath work आएगा फिर. You have box breathing. You have other forms of breath work. You have pranayams then. Pranayams will come eventually. But you cannot manage the mind without the use or manipulation of breath. That is a connecting factor. Between your mind and your body, the connecting factor is the breath. If I ask you, where is the mind? People will point to the brain. But that's not true. Brain is just showing you the workings of the mind. Mind is it's a very complex entity. And it's one of our bodies. In fact, we just don't have a physical body. We have 5 koshas. We have 5 sheets, out of which Manomay kosha is one of them. Then the Pranamay kosha. Then the tangible. So, and all of them are inextricably intertwined. They're all you. They're just at the levels of subtlety. Subtle. So अगर हमें change लाना है, अपनी stress level को कम करना है, then we have to start at the subtlest and go towards the grossest. On all the levels you'll have to work. You can't say I'll clean up my diet and I'll exercise regularly and mind भगवान भरोसे नहीं होगा. पहले तो आज ये समझो, you can control what you think.
Yeah.
लेकिन of course जब emotions involved होते हैं तो थोड़ा tricky होता है, sticky होता है. So breathe through the diaphragm, then learn how to flip a negative thought because it's in your imagination. आपको anxiety किस चीज की हो रही है? Future की हो रही है. Anxiety is fear of future. Something unpleasant in the future, something pleasant not happening for you in the future. But both of them in the future. Future है कहाँ? आपको पता है कहाँ है? हुआ ही नहीं. आपके mind में है, creation है, imagination है. Train yourself to use your imagination productively. That's what manifestation is. और जब ये आ जाएगा ना, then I feel medical world and the psychological world work very beautifully together. True. World, situation, life can be stressful, but you are still in power.
Yeah.
You can still minimize the damage that it does to you. So I honestly feel, the last thing I'll say, the crazier things get on the outside, the deeper your foundation has to be. Otherwise, at every nook and corner, you'll be whacked around by life. So you don't have a choice. Guys, we don't have a choice. Time has come. Take charge of your mind because करने से ही होगा. And होगा. 101%. We all are living examples of it. And doc, I don't mean कि अगर आप practices करते हो तो आपको कभी stress नहीं होगा, कभी anxiety नहीं होगी. Of course होगी. It's a natural phenomena. लेकिन आपके पास tools होंगे what to do when this happens. Like I'm asking you tools. Okay, what to do if I get one zit? So there is a protocol to be followed. वो mind के लिए भी वो protocol लोगों ने decide. अभी तक तो we are just becoming aware.
Yeah.
कि taking care of your mind it's not a taboo thing to say. It is very fundamental. And if people are struggling with it, everybody is struggling with it. It is because हमने सीखा ही नहीं है. आपको हमें पता है कि अगर हमें scar है, You will tell the person, please don't go and pick on it every day. It's a no-brainer. आपको बोलने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, लेकिन बचपन में सिखा दिया हमें कि don't pick on the scab. Let it heal, let it heal, let it be. हम emotional trauma को क्या करते हैं? We peel it every day, multiple times during the day. कैसे heal होगा? If somebody is suffering from trauma of past 10 years, I empathize with them deeply. Past 10 days, I empathize with them. But if you keep talking about it, you keep bringing it up and letting it hurt you, it will just keep hurting you. और फिर future भी वैसा ही होगा जैसा past था. आपने meditation की बात की, meditation नहीं कर सकते. Our guru says, meditation आप कभी नहीं कर सकते. Meditation is a consequence of extreme concentration. ये उनके शब्द हैं. So आप mind को train करते हो concentrate करने के लिए. जब साधना करते हैं ना, so I'm talking about proper spiritual sadhanas also. There will be pranayam involved. So you are settling the energies. Then you will learn how to concentrate the mind on one thing. And out of that extreme concentration, जिसको हम बोलते हैं धारणा ध्यान समाधि. If we talk about Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. These are the stages.
Wow.
These are the levels. So without understanding our own selves in totality, how are we living life? Like a trial and error, stumbling at every step. No judgment. But guys, we can kind of take charge of our life. So when it comes to meditation, preceding meditation is always breath work. You do, in fact, जब somebody who's going through a lot of stuff, मैं meditation देती नहीं beginning में. It's too much nervous energy, too much heightened emotions. They will need to do physical activity.
Correct.
So they let go of all that excessive energy. Then, like in the gym, how we used to do it, after workout, we used to make them sit. And then do the breath work and the pranayams. That's why even in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, asana will come before pranayam. This was for you, especially for you.
Lovely. Thank you.
But coming to another very big issue, pigmentation, doc. Pigmentation होता क्यों है men में, women में? Why does it happen?
Pigmentation happens when you irritate your pigment forming cell, which is melanin, or the throwing out of the dead cells, which is keratin on top. So one of these two things will lead to pigmentation. Now the irritation,
hyperpigmentation, like darkening skin, हो जा, skin dark हो गया.
It could be some metabolic syndromes also which irritate the skin, doing the same thing, either interfering with the cell turnover and throwing the cell out, the dead cell out, or in the way the melanin behaves. Everything depends on these two. Now, whether it is your metabolic thing like insulin resistance, which kind of leads to that, your diabetes, your thyroid, it could be simply your friction, which you have irritated it. It could be sun, which is an aggressor. It could be pollution. It could be some chemical you've applied on the skin. Anything can cause pigmentation.
Insulin resistance and diabetes is one of the biggest reasons why that skin actually goes black.
We call it as acanthosis nigricans. So what happens is skin does become thicker and it goes darker. So you can see it on the face, on the back of the neck, on all your body folds, all of these areas you can see that. So this is most important. So that kind of pigmentation is taken care of by diet and exercise, where you kind of kick up your metabolism. And of course, if it is in the extremes, then you will need medication by your doctor to get your insulins, your sugars right.
I absolutely love the sun.
Yes.
I love being out in the sun.
Yeah.
But of course, after understanding what Vrinda has to speak about the sun, and of course the intensity of the light, the energy and the different kind of rays that are coming through the sun, somewhere I think we do become smarter. Yeah. But at the same time, there is and I don't mind saying it because people know I just say what I need to say. There's a massive population out there who still works out at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the open sun, thinking it's good, lying down on the pool side, getting a tan. We've all been there, done that. We've made our mistakes, but somewhere you realize and you grow out of it.
We've all.
So, of course, I don't have the science to back this, but you will, being a specialist in the field that you are. So, if you can tell us why not working out in the sun after a particular time,
or being in the sun
or
and
being in the sun even after a particular time, is actually going to cause you more harm than you just enjoying it.
Yeah. So, sun has a whole lot of rays in it, right? One is the visible rays, then there is an infrared rays. In between all of that is a spectrum which is invisible to the eye, which is the UV rays, which is UVA, B, and C, which is broadly categorized. Now, the visible rays is pretty much okay for the skin. We need it to see each other. That's how the world is seen to everyone. But if you already have pigmentation, even the visible light rays can irritate you. Now, in the visible spectrum, there's one more thing called blue light, which comes out of your gadgets, your harsh lights, and all of that. So, that's a highly active light that can also damage you. It penetrates into the skin and damages you. The UV ray penetrates deep into skin, can even cause alteration in your DNA, therefore, skin cancers. Among other things, of course, there is aging, there is tanning, and there's all of that. Then there's infrared rays, which causes the burning, the redness, the irritation of the skin that you also see. So all of this is counterproductive to the skin. The one good thing maybe you could get is vitamin D, but it's not just skin that synthesizes vitamin D. You have food which is rich in vitamin D. There's a whole load of body. Little light is also enough to just get your vitamin C kick-started. So therefore, by and large, a harsh sun will only irritate you and give you no benefit. When I say harsh sun, it is sun between, let's say, around a 9 a.m. or a 10 a.m. to around 4:30ish if you're in India in this hot sun. But otherwise, the early morning sun is a very good sun to take in. It's calming, it's anti-inflammatory. That sun falling into your retina actually activates your brain to say, now produce your cortisol, which then starts the cascading of your day hormone. So it's very important for that light to actually get into your skin and system. It also stimulates your happy hormones. So that's again very important. So early morning sun actually makes you happy. Forget the vitamin D. So that is very important again. So this is why you do the early morning. Now sunset is another, again, a calming down sun, a nice sun to have. You see the sun setting, the lights changing, the colors changing, the birds chirping. So the mind gets into a very calm state. And after that, there's a melatonin that produces in response to that, which is your countdown sleeping hormone. So between two is what they maintain the circadian rhythm. Therefore, the sunset and sun thing and in between sun, what it does. So to answer your question, Shivoham, it's important for us to cover ourselves in that in between harsh sun. So that time, whether you use a sunscreen, you use a hat, a cap, a sunglass, a whatever, a loose cotton shirt, you need to cover yourself and protect yourself from that harsh light, which you don't need.
So, does that mean that even if you work out in the sun without a t shirt, and if you're wearing all the possible sunblock or sunscreen, is that okay then?
How? When you're working out, you're sweating, right? There's no sweat resistant
But होता है ना,
sunscreen.
वो बोलते हैं कि है sweat
Sweat
resistant
resistant
है
है,
ये
sea resistant है, salt
gluten free,
resistant है,
sugar free.
exactly. नहीं होता है, नहीं होता है. It is
अभी तो
going to-
हर प्रोडक्ट में
सब free है.
vegan
Exactly,
free,
yeah.
gluten free,
So you
pita
get
free.
it, even they say, oh, it's okay, it's a swimming pool resistant. I'm like, you get into the water, the chlorine is going to rip everything off, whatever you wear. Plus the chlorine irritates your skin. Plus when you're in the water, the sun is doubly strong because you also have the reflective sun. Or if you're in the sea, the salt itself will sting your skin. Then on a sensitive skin, sun is going to harm even worse. So it's not just the UV rays. Your infrared is also highest in that peak hour of the sun, which is very burning.
So I think this, if you could tell to the camera, because swimming for
Yeah.
schools,
My God,
Kids, I mean,
please,
we've done that,
yaar,
we've done
kids,
that all our
schools,
life.
Please, principals, schools, administrations, please watch that. I do have children coming saying, but we're all in the swimming squad. What? Swimming squad.
Huh.
Therefore, we need to be there. And what time is the swimming? What, 2 to 3?
2 to 3.
Yeah, 12 to 3. No, you're actually irritating that skin. So you need to have swimming is the first thing in the morning. So when minute they enter, finish with swimming, give them time for shower. There was a kid from a very premium school who said, no, but we don't have things for shower. We do have 10 cubicles for shower, but we are 30 children in the pool or whatever. And then the next class immediately starts. The swimming hour is over, immediately next class. So there is no period in between for them to wash up, dry up and go. So they have hair, so they say, oh, hair won't dry, whatever in the cap, we just pull it out and we go. And the skin is dirty from the pool. They haven't even run water. Forget using shower gel. They haven't even run water on their body.
Sounds a lot
Sounds like you, yeah.
Because he was a swimmer. But Shivam, you used to swim very
But
early in
again,
the
I
morning.
mean, like I said, touch wood, God has
Yeah.
been very kind because I've swam for 15 years.
Wow.
I started swimming at the age of 5, competitive swimming, sea swims. Over there, maybe, 15 years back, you would probably see us swimming over there. But touch wood,
Yeah.
nothing, again.
But today's world is very
It-
different, Shivam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So why increase the risk
Yeah.
of an accident? You might smoke 10 packets a day and get away with it, but sometimes one is enough. So for that particular reason, I think, like you said, if parents put their foot down,
Schools will agree.
schools will have to agree.
Yeah. Parents should, please do.
And
Please
kids should know because, this is what 5 years later they're going to come to you
Yeah. Yeah.
saying that this is what
Yeah.
had happened.
In my day, till God knows, till I got married or much after, I never put any skincare, right? Today, the kids of 12 are starting, 6 are asking what skincare to use. They have a skincare regime,
Wow.
if you please. Yeah.
Wow.
So they have one vitamin
Boys
C
and girls?
going. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Some vitamin C going, hyaluronic acid going, all that happening
Are
on
you
the skin.
serious?
Yeah, yeah. So my point is, while you're doing all that, you must understand at that age you're actually killing your skin barrier. And you're not going to a doctor and asking, you're just looking at Instagram influencer, somebody on the Instagram, some pretty star who's telling you something. So this initiation towards skincare is much earlier. Now it's not a good skincare that's earlier, which could be a great thing to do. But initiation of self skin use is so much, skincare use is so much earlier. So these things, vitamin C, which looks harmless, can actually irritate and sensitize your skin. Now with that sensitive skin, if you jump into a pool with chlorine at 3 in the afternoon, that's going to really damage your skin.
So
So
dynamite.
as much as, like you said, in our times, you and I did it, we had a good skin barrier which was not damaged. We ate food. If mom put ghee, we didn't question her.
Yes.
We ate food at home a lot, which was a mixed diet of all the good ingredients. We are not eating packet chips and then high protein diet. We ate everything
Correct.
properly, right?
And we were active.
And we were active and we listened to mamas.
And we didn't know the word stress.
We
Oh,
did
we
exactly.
did
We
not.
played out. Now, so
Yeah.
there's nothing like playing. I remember on the street playing Coco to this, to
Yes.
that, and running and cycling all
True.
around streets of Bangalore.
Yeah.
Now there's nothing happening. So our lifestyle was different. The goodness you got out of the produce itself was different.
Yeah.
So we got our nourishment from the food we ate, which is not there now. So there's a lot of things going for
It's
us.
a different world.
And in these 20, 40 odd years, the pollution, the damage to the ozone layer, all this is also increased.
Yeah.
So the rays which are coming in are harsher. So yeah, we can't say we did it, we got away by that, and these guys will get away. No.
It's a different world,
Yeah.
completely different world,
Yeah.
different scenario, different human beings.
And my mom never used sunscreen. Whose mom used sunscreen here?
No.
Whose mom?
Nariyal
But
tel.
exactly, and the
Your
skin
nani.
is glowing even
Nani,
till
my
date.
nani till I think
Soft skin.
87, she used to, after a bath, never ever forget to put
Nariyal tel.
tel.
My
And
dad
me
did
and my
that.
brother used to just
Can you
go and pull
imagine?
her
And-
cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soft.
Yeah.
And mom's skin, my mom just lost her last year. She's 81, and like literally
Makhan, yeah.
soft skin, no very little wrinkles. And what she used, Borolene.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
She just-
remember,
yeah.
all of them used some sort of lubricant or grease on them.
Yes.
So moisture, like
Yeah.
I keep saying wherever I can
Yeah.
say that if there is one thing which is most important, if you want to just initiate yourself or you're too lazy and just want to do one thing, moisturize.
Yeah. I remember you saying that to me even 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes. Moisturize, Vrinda.
That is
Moisturize.
it. Moisturize.
Yeah.
Any form. Whether it is Pond's cold cream, Borolene,
Something, whatever works for
something,
you.
coconut oil, whatever
Yeah.
works for you. Moisturize.
I've seen people use ghee also.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we are getting older. Our bodies are not the same what it used to be.
Shivam,
Yeah.
this statement was for you.
And-
moisturize, moisturize.
Well,
He doesn't,
Well,
he doesn't
there'd
use
be-
it.
there'd
Even
be a- there'd
coconut
be-
oil like your
Yes.
grandma is
There'd be
fine.
a lot of statements for me, I think. But again, because everything is slowing down, everything is breaking down even more.
Yeah.
So extra care definitely needs to be there, but like you said, because today everyone has become a influencer.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying
Nobody asks
to.
influencer their qualifications or their
Yeah.
credibility to say what they say.
So when it comes to skin, when it comes to anything to do with your hair, with your skin, just like you consult us when it comes to losing weight, like I tell people, I said it depends who you follow. You're not going to follow a Virat Kohli to lose weight. You'll follow him for motivation. You'll follow him for the amazing athlete that he is. Same way, you will not follow an actress or an actor
So well put.
to get a solution for skin issues. You will go to a
make
specialist.
look good.
Yes, you'll go to a
specialist.
specialist.
But why don't
Exactly.
people understand that?
Yeah.
Behind that glowing skin of an actress, of an influencer,
Is
of an
Dr.
actor is Dr. Shetty. So
yeah.
why are you settling for
Yeah.
in between?
Yeah.
You know,
So get your solutions.
go to
with
the right
Doc.
people and
We'll-
get the right solution.
We'll put up your details in the
Sure.
description as well. And yes, I know you have to run, but very big issue, Doc, that we spoke about skin.
Hmm.
What about the crowning glory, the hair?
Hair. Yeah.
There is not a single person जिसको those
Hair fall नहीं
lovely, lovely cascading locks they don't want. But most of us, people struggle, especially monsoon.
So, like you rightly said, hair is most important for a man and for a woman, and everybody is suffering with hair fall these days. One, simply lifestyle. Everything, guys, goes back to lifestyle, goes back to weight, goes back to food that you're eating. So, and keeping the body less inflamed. That is a key for everything. So, oxidative stress has to be minimized. Therefore, your inflammation will be minimized, and therefore, whatever outcome. Now, this is on a regular basis in general janta, assuming there is no disease. Now, if you have disease or anything which is imbalanced, then you look at your nutrition. The first thing could be iron, as simple as that. It could be certain vitamins, it could be certain minerals like your vitamin D, your magnesium, your calcium, all this also affects the hair. Copper, all this affects the hair. And then it could be certain vitamins like your biotins, your B1, B3, B5, all of them affect your B12, all of them affect your hair as well. Then there are hormones such as thyroid, which affects your hair, all your male hormones, all your female hormones, your hormones which comes up excess during lactation, which is prolactin, can go excess if you have some PCOS or inflammatory conditions. So stress, that can also lead to hair fall. Stress itself leads to hair fall because of everything else going wrong. So these are various reasons that can lead to hair fall. And most importantly, like I said, in acne, genetics plays a huge role. A lot of women have genetically thinning hair here, where they see how their grandmas are, mums are.
Yeah.
The men have what we call it as androgenic alopecia, patterned alopecia, which is there, which is a certain pattern that ends up happening in men, male pattern hair loss. So that can also run in families. A lot of them come say, but my dad had it at 40, but now I'm having it at 25. This generation I've seen is 10, 15 years in advance.
Yeah.
So grandpa might have had it 80, papa might have had it 60, you will have it 40, for example. So it just keeps, every generation gets 10 to 20 years, 15 years earlier. So these are various reasons. So starters, scalp hygiene, very important for hair. That is where it's like the soil where your plant is. So make
So
sure
how
your
often
scalp
would you
hygiene.
recommend? Hygiene में क्या क्या आता है?
Hygiene is wash your hair regularly. That's your basic hygiene.
So regularly,
Every
frequency
day
क्या?
you wash. How often you wash your
Oh.
hair or shampoo your hair depends on your scalp. Whether your scalp is very oily, or you work out every day, then it is sweaty, or you have to wear hair care products like wax and whatever. So depending on that, you choose the number of times you will wash your hair. Depending on your hair, whether it is too dry or too oily or too frizzy, you can choose your shampoo, whether it is shampoo for dry hair, frizzy hair, oily hair. Hair itself need not be shampooed every day. When I say that, people get confused. It's only that if your scalp is oily, you shampoo your scalp. You condition your hair if it is a long hair, and just leave it for 5 minutes and rinse it out. But if your hair is also dirty, for example, you've gone and rolled somewhere in the beach, then you end up washing your hair also. Otherwise, shampooing your hair once in a week is more than enough. While
Scalp
you
is
shampoo
every
your
day.
scalp every day if need be.
Ah.
For some people, scalp is also super dirty and they don't do anything in life. They may not be exercising and everything is very nice. They're staying in an AC situation. Wash it once in 3 days. I don't care. But if your scalp needs it, you need to wash it every day. And washing every day, I'm telling you this for the 100th time, washing every day your hair with shampoo is not going to increase hair fall. If at all, it reduces hair fall because your yeast, which is your dandruff, is actually inflammatory. Your excess oil there is inflammatory and also food for dandruff. So washing it, you're better off for your hair.
So with hair fall, is there a hair fall where the hair falls and grows back, or once it's fallen, it's gone?
If hair fell and it never grew back, none of us
We'd
would
all
have
be
had
bald.
hair. We'd not be bald
So
by
then
now
how does
because
balding happen
It's
then?
normally 100 to 150 to 100 hair strands can fall in a day.
But they grow back.
They will grow back. That's a cycle hair goes through. Growth, resting, fall. Growth, resting, fall. It keeps going through those cycles. So for genetically, growth phase depends for each person. Some people have a growth phase of 3 years. So you see some people, even though they never cut the hair and never grow beyond that. So the growth phase is only for that maybe 1 year. Some people have hair till here. So that is because the growth phase is so long, so the hair can become that long.
No, but the balding aspect. So where the hair will just never grow back. I mean,
Yeah,
from
that
the
is
root.
when the follicles itself get damaged. So it will kind of never grow back. The stem cells around it has kind of gotten damaged. So it doesn't grow right back.
And the reasons for that are what you mentioned earlier.
Is either hereditary, your hormonal, your nutritional, all of that. So it could be that.
For men, a very big problem is if you can explain the connection between testosterone, DHT, hair
Yeah.
fall. How does, so someone who's not even taking supplements or taking any performance enhancing stuff, like you said, when you hit puberty, automatically testosterone is a lot in the body. Or maybe certain activities they do, like say, certain weight training will enhance the
Enhance
testosterone
testosterone,
in a particular person.
Yeah.
So how does that affect hair fall?
So testosterone converts into something called as dihydrotestosterone.
Correct.
There is something called as 5-alpha reductase, an enzyme which converts the testosterone to dihydrotestosterone. It has 5-alpha reductase 1 and 5-alpha reductase 2. So this is what happens. And you need a DHT because that's the active form of testosterone. And skin, scalp, hair, all of these have testosterone sensitizers or sensors right there.
Correct.
So they respond to testosterone, dihydrotestosterone form of it. So when that becomes excess, hair can fall, number one. Two, two people may have the same DHT, but one may have hair fall because in their family, hereditarily, familiarly, the sensitivity to DHT is so much more.
Correct.
So those people end up having hair fall. So this is what when we treat hair fall, which is mostly hereditary in men, few things we end up doing. One, I tell them, we enhance your nutrition. That's the first thing. I do a set of blood test to see if there's any deficiency. Then we plug in the deficiency. Whether there is or there is no deficiency, we give a set of amino acids, proteins, minerals, vitamins, which is raw anagen is the tablet, that which is my favorite. We end up giving that to everyone. It has iron, everything, whatever I mentioned so far, it has everything. We give that. So that is nutrition. Then I told you how inflammation plays a big part in everything. So we give an anti-inflammatory called Defense. That's also given to them. So that reduces the inflammation in the hair follicles. We also give sometimes a vitamin C to support the hair follicle growth. Then that nutrition has to reach. So you need to do something where the blood vessels increases a little there to rush a little more blood supply to that area. So minoxidil is a regular thing which everybody knows now is applied to that area. But minoxidil application can irritate the skin for some people. So now the newer studies also show that oral minoxidil gives us great results. So please take that only under doctor's guidance, not from the over-the-counter. So you bring in better blood to that area. The third thing that you do is you work on what is making your hair fall, which is DHT. So we give you certain medicines which reduce the enzyme there, which I was telling you converts from testosterone to DHT. So that will reduce your DHT, not reduce your testosterone. Don't get very, very worried. There are rare side effects with that particular drug of maybe erectile dysfunction, sperm motility dysfunction, but it's at a higher dose. Clinically, we don't really see it that much. We give it to a certain age group. We are also very watchful of where we give. There are certain applications now we also get with exactly these things. So only at the end organ level, we kind of suppress it. So these are various methods how we take care of hair fall. And then in clinic, of course, there are procedures. We do stem cells, we do GFC, we do mesotherapy. There are so many of that. On my Instagram, all of that is there
Correct.
for whoever is interested. Yeah.
So one last question from my side. When we're talking about skin, when we're talking about exercise, nutrition, we use the word inflammation a lot.
Yeah.
Every single dietitian out there is using the word inflammation. Everyone is using it. Hack your metabolism, cut down the inflammation. What is exactly inflammation? So, just 2 points from my understanding. Inflammation is something which can happen due to wrong or a metabolic dysfunction,
Yeah.
where the energy is not being able to convert into, or the food is not being able to convert into energy.
Right energy. Let's
And
say.
therefore, you have these free radicals or oxygen, hydrogen ions, which are floating around in the cell, which kill the cell. So how does that inflammation happen, and how does it affect the hair particularly?
So, inflammation is actually a response that happens in the body due to various things. One of that, like you rightly said, is the free radical damage. So, these free radical damage, or what we call it as ROS, is something which they are rogue, they're hyperactive, so they just destroy things around them. They create a lot of noise in the tissues. So, there is a lot of our own protective fellows who come to defend that noise. But if you keep irritating them, the protective fellows can actually go against you. So, instead of protecting, they kind of become counterproductive to you. Then that causes a lot of tissue water that gets drawn in. All the cells come in there thinking they're protecting, but they end up accumulating there. Some half kill some of your cells, then those protein kind of remains there, attracting more inflammation to that area. So it all becomes a little messier, like a slush.
Correct.
Now that can irritate everything: your skin, your hair follicle, your gut, causing leaky gut. All this can cause. And that in turn will increase inflammation. So that becomes like one
Vicious
vicious
cycle.
cycle. So this is how inflammation affects everything and destroys everything. So to douse that, the only thing that you can do is lifestyle correct again. Maybe if it is starting from the gut, then you end up seeing your food sensitivity test, like you were saying, somewhere in between. So you could do that to reduce the general inflammation. There are inflammatory markers which can be seen, like CRP, which is a very ESR. All of these are inflammatory markers. There are many more markers that you can do to blood test.
And it's quite funny because so many times when I've got my blood test, the CRP levels, there's absolutely nothing wrong in the body. But you just have a small injury. And the CRP levels are like through the roof because the body is trying to deal with that
For
injury,
you,
that
I'm
inflammation.
sure, are working out with each client to show them the right thing. So your body must be overworked out at times. So it may be inflamed. So that can be showing up all of those.
So thank you so much, Doc. You gave such wonderful insights, and sort of insight hi nahi, you explained everything so well
Thank you.
and with solutions.
Thank you.
And it's great for all the viewers. Great solutions we have, and in the description we'll add all your details. So please don't just follow influencers, go to the correct doctor.
Correct. It's like when people come, Arey, sir, we follow you. Follow karte ho, very good.
कुछ कर रहे हो?
Exercise करते हो? नहीं सर, बस follow करके मजा आता है. But okay, ठीक है, मेरे उसमें शायद मजा भी आएगा exercise करते हुए. इनको अगर आपको actually में कुछ results देखना है, तो whatever solution she's giving you, you will actually have to follow them.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much, Doc,
Thank you.
for
Thank
being
you.
on our
Thank
podcast,
you.
Body, Mind and Beyond. Thank you.
So this brings us to the end of our episode. I hope that you guys got a lot to learn because Dr. Rashmi Shetty has definitely given इतने सारे answers आपके pimples, आपके acne, आपके hair fall के बारे में, pigmentation के बारे में. So कुछ ना कुछ तो आपने यहाँ से सीखा होगा. Please make sure to like, subscribe or share, and remember to put anything in the comments that you would like to know more from us. We will try our best to bring it to you. Thank you.